Have you ever spent hours perfecting your CV, hit apply, then got rejected so fast you actually thought the email was automated? Now, let me ask you this. If recruiters really only spend 7 seconds on your CV, what's the point of adding all that detail? And here's the scary part. What if I told you that most people are losing the interview before the recruiter even reads a single sentence? Stay with me because in a few minutes, I'm going to actually show you exactly what recruiters are actually scanning for and the one mistake that actually makes them mentally sometimes decline your application. Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tshidi and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm actually breaking down what the 7-second CV scan really means. A lot of people always talk about recruiters take 7 seconds to screen a CV. What actually happens when recruiters opens your CV? And how can you actually structure yours to survive that first scan and get moved into the yes pile? And this matters right now because competition is actually really wild. As you know, jobs are not easy to find nowadays, and people are applying more, and recruiters are juggling more and more opportunities or more and more roles. The biggest question that people then have is, yes, you've heard that 7 seconds thing. Here's the drama that we normally share online. People always say it takes 7 seconds for a recruiter to read through your CV to make a decision on your application. When people say recruiters only spend 7 seconds on a CV, they imagine recruiters sitting there like, right, you've got 7 seconds, go. And then it's like a game show. Like they already start, putting the timer and then there it is. That's not exactly what is happening when they get that. The truth is recruiters actually spend a bit longer. They normally do when your CV actually gives them a reason to. But most CVs don't give the recruiters the right reasons to actually go further or spend a bit more time. So what happens is the recruiters opens the CV, does a rapid scan to actually answer one question. Does this person have even a single skill that we're actually looking for? That scan can actually be 7 seconds. Sometimes it's 5. Sometimes it's 12. Sometimes it's 1 minute. But it's not a deep read. It's a quick judgment call to make on that particular CV. Now, think of it like scrolling on your phone. You're not always reading every post. You're scanning and stopping only when something actually grabs your attention. And your CV needs to actually be the one that makes them stop and say, I want to read more. So then the biggest question that you'll have then is, what actually happens when a recruiter opens that CV? Let me try and paint this scenario for you guys. Monday morning, the recruiter has maybe 10 or 15 roles that they need to fill out. They've got 200 new applications, hiring managers chasing for updates, and a calendar full of meetings, screening calls, and all these things that are happening. They open your CV, and the first few seconds, they're not reading, they're basically hunting for keywords that tell them that you've got the skill that you're looking for. They're hunting for proof that you actually match that job. And the eyes really go to the same place where everybody almost goes. And what they scan for first is your title and position. So if the job is a project manager and the first thing that they see is customer service professional, you've already created a friction. You're already now on some, okay, but I'm looking for a project manager. The second thing they look for is your most recent role. They check where you are, what level you're actually operating at. If they're looking at somebody who's saying project specialist, they're thinking, might not be at the right level. Then the third thing is they go to the company names and credibility cues. Not because big brands are everything, but because it also helps them quickly sometimes place you. Remember, this is for the 7 seconds. The fourth thing that they do is keywords. So not just ATSs look after keywords. And guys, ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. Human keyword scanning is important too. So the tools, the systems, methodologies, job-specific terms that they actually are looking for. Then the last thing, which is number 5, is impact, numbers, outcomes, results, anything that actually screams, this person delivers. Now, here's what most CVs actually do wrong. They make the top of the CV all about them in a very beautifully fluffy way. They write things like highly motivated, hardworking, passionate team player. That's not a profile, that's a slogan. And sometimes recruiters skip this because it's not communicating what you want them to see. A recruiter reads when they see a few things which are extremely important. Number 1, a clear match to the role. That is the most important thing. Project manager. Oh, that's a simple, clear, match to the role. Number two, a clear level of seniority. It shows that you are at the same level as what the role is looking for. And then number three, clear evidence of results. And here's a quick example that you actually might have. A CV line that actually gets scanned or ignored. It says something like, responsible for managing stakeholders and supporting project delivery. What does that mean? Everybody can actually say exactly those same words and it means nothing. The CV line that actually gets people to read is, managed 12 cross-functional stakeholders and delivered 180,000 Swiss francs or dollars project 3 weeks early by redesigning the delivery timeline. Now you've actually got specific, which is very different to what other people could actually say. We've got a bit of a scale. We've got a bit of outcomes. So when people say 7 seconds, it really means something like this. You have about 7 seconds to look obviously relevant, right? You have those 7 seconds when I look at that CV to say this person is relevant to what we're looking for. Not 7 to actually show up your life story. 7 seconds to stop them from thinking, not really what we're looking for. Now here's the plot twist also. Sometimes the recruiter doesn't even get to scan it properly because something normally happens first. Let's talk about the gatekeeper before the gatekeeper. The ATS reality and what you actually sometimes get wrong in that process. It's basically software companies use to manage applications. Some people think ATS is out there reading your CV like a person and rejecting you because you didn't write the exact magic keywords. It's not always that dramatic, guys. It's very simple. Most ATS are actually just used to do a few things. Number one is organize applicants. Number two, search for keywords. Number three, filter knockout questions. And this is the part that you need to be very careful about when it comes to knockout questions. And then the last thing is help recruiters shortlist a bit faster. That is what an ATS is used for. It also helps us with things like GDPR or any privacy laws so that we don't send out CVs to different managers as time comes around. Now, there are a few things that actually sometimes just destroys your opportunities when it comes to the ATS. Number one is PDFs that are actually formatted or designed like a magazine. Tables, boxes, graphics everywhere, weird headlines where systems can't even read it, the keyword mismatch where we look at the keywords on your CV and the keywords as well as on the job profile do not really exist or do not speak the same language. So yes, your CV needs to actually be readable to humans, but also simple enough to be read by an ATS. And I know a lot of people have talked about ATSs have got AI and AI this, AI that. A lot of ATS are not even anywhere close to being able to utilize AI the right way. Now, I promise to share the one mistake that actually gets people binned instantly, even if they're actually qualified. Your CV makes the recruiter work too hard to connect you to the job that you've applied to. Now, if they're scanning 10 CVs, yours is the most difficult to find the information, but the other person has got the information simply, they're going to reject you as quickly as possible because clearly you haven't even looked at what the job is about. And this is not because you're unqualified and not because you also lack the experience. It's that they can't see the match fast enough or can't even see the match at all between you as well as the job. And this normally happens when a few things happen. Number one, your headline doesn't even match the role. Number two, your top section is very vague and it's telling all these amazing things that mean nothing to them for what they're looking for. Your achievements are hidden all the way at the bottom. Your bullet points are task-based, not impact-based. And then your CV is cluttered and exhausting to even go through. And people tend to just think, I can't find this information, so I'm not going to assume that they've got this particular skill. Now, let's make this a bit more practical. I'm going to show you exactly how to build a CV that survives those 7-second scans that we keep on talking about. Now, the question is, how do I structure my CV in a way that actually works? Step number one, fix your top third. The top third of your CV is prime real estate, guys. It should include a few basic things. Number one, name and contact information. Clean and not loud. Simple stuff so that I can get hold of you. Number two, a clear job title headline that's aligned with the role. Even if your company is creative with job titles, please, by all means, change that particular job title to use industry norm titles. Or number three, a 2 to 3 line, profile that actually fits that particular role. And then the last thing, guys, is key skills, the tools that actually show that you actually meet the requirements of that particular role. And guys, AI is there to actually be able to help you make sure that it makes sense. Here's an example of a profile that actually works. I'm a data analyst with 4 years experience using SQL, Power BI, and Excel to prove reporting accuracy. And I've also reduced manual processing. Most recently, I automated weekly dashboards, saving about 6 hours per week for the team, which actually helped us to meet all our deadlines a bit earlier than normal. That's a recruiter-friendly profile. Put impact in the most recent role. That's the second step that you need to do. Your most recent role should actually have bullets that show a few things. Number one, the scope of the work that you actually had. Number two, what tools did you use in that particular role? And then number three, the outcomes. Did you have any outcomes? And then the third step that you need to actually take, guys, is make the CV easy to scan. Strong headline, consistent spacing, no walls of text that you might have, bullet points, no paragraphs, keep it clean, no graphical representation of anything that people cannot understand. Your CV is not judged by how it looks, but is judged like a menu. Now let's do the 7-second test that I actually mentioned, guys. This is where it actually gets a bit more fun. Now I want you to do the following. You can even pause this video for yourself if you want to. Open your CV, set a timer for 7 seconds. Look only at the first page and then ask yourself, can I tell what role this person wants in 2 seconds? Can I see the level of this person and what they're operating at in the 3 seconds? Can I spot relevant keywords in, let's say, 5 seconds? Can I see at least one outcome or metric in 7 seconds? The reason why I'm asking you to do that is because that's what people do first. They look at, what is this person looking for? What level are they operating at? Oh, okay. Then they give it a bit more time than just the 7 seconds. If the answer is no, that doesn't mean you're actually doomed. It just means your CV needs to be packaged a bit better. Now, quick question. What's been the hardest part of your job search? Getting the interviews or passing the interviews? Drop it in the comments so that we can actually discuss it, and I'll try and help you wherever you need some of my help. So today we've covered 3 main things. Number one is the 7-second scan. The 7-second scan is real in the sense that recruiters do rapid relevance check, not a deep read first. Then recruiters scan for job title, recent experience, keywords, credibility cues, and impact. And the biggest mistake is making them work too hard to try and connect your experience to the job that you've actually applied to. If you found these tips helpful, please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, subscribe for more content that's designed to make you a rock star in those job interviews or those applications. Until we meet again in the next video, peace.